You think? No, I think it's all right. It's probably the same as it was this morning. Om Akyantimandasya Yananjalashalakaya Chakshun Militam Dena Tasmai Shri Guve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manupistam Sthapitam Yenuvuttale Swayam Upakaramayam Dadati Swavadantikam Namam Vishnupada Krishna Pissa Vuttale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Govani Pachani Nivishesha Shunyavari Pasata Rishacharini Vanchakapa Tuvisa Kripa Sanivevata Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Pavanityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Shivasari Go Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So welcome everybody to our session number 2 on the topic of deepening our relationship with the Holy Name. So just to refresh our memory, yesterday we were basically introducing the topic, mainly exploring the levels of inattentive chanting on the level of the body, on the level of the mind. And yeah, we were making that point that we have to make ongoing endeavors to get on deeper levels of chanting. Actually, you know, once we have attended some holy name retreats, we realize that we actually need this every year, once a year, you know, to put everything aside for a few days. And for those days, nothing is more important than the holy name. Having this undivided focus, just that in itself gives such transformational insights, you know, because our life is so fast, full of distractions, and you know, and very easily the holy name is always a little pushed aside. Our diseases that we think so many other things are more important than the holy name. So that's why it is so beneficial to just once a year put everything aside, switch off your mobile phone. Everything can wait until after the retreat. And that gives such an undivided focus that we can almost enter a different reality by just having that focus. So it's almost magic. And it's a good opportunity to brush up our chanting habits, polish them up. And yeah, you know, you get rejuvenated and nourished and, you know, so, and often we see after a holy name retreat, our chanting is better, but then very easily it goes a little down. But usually it goes like a curve upwards, you know. So we never go, hopefully, down to how we were before, but it goes in waves upwards, especially if we have this regularly in our life. I almost dare say this is essential in these modern days of fast life and social media and all these kind of things, you know. Yeah, it's very powerful, you know. So today we want to start with the inattentiveness on the level of the heart, or attentiveness on the level of the heart. We talked about body and mind yesterday, so let's talk about the attentiveness or inattentiveness on the level of the heart, which we said is the most crucial one, because unless the heart is involved, nothing will transform, right? And we said yesterday, this is in all services, not only in chanting. All our services are meant to bring about a transformation in the heart, and they're meant to bring bhakti about in the heart. So, but that only happens if the heart is involved, right? When there's no indifference, when there's there's this mood of really trying our best, serving with heart and soul to please the devotees, Krishna, Prabhupada, Guru. Then the heart is involved, especially when we give our best, and only then our service will do something in our heart. So something is there with chanting. But we can definitely say, unless we are attentive on the level of the body, that's where it always starts, that we stop doing other things while we're chanting. So there's not much chance for attentiveness on the level of the heart, right? We will explore today. So yes, attentiveness on the level of the heart. What does that mean? So I'm sure we have all heard this nice analogy that Prabhupada has given us, how we are meant to chant. Anybody knows what I'm getting at? Yes, we are meant to chant just like a child crying in helplessness and desperation for his mother. That's how we are meant to chant. But are we chanting like that? Huh? Are we? No, we are not. We are not. That's the problem. Why aren't we chanting like that? Why aren't we crying out in helplessness? Yeah, it's true, false ego, That's really what it is, We think we're pretty cool and we've got it all under control and life is not so bad and. Anybody's been to Australia? Yes. So in Australia, every second sentence, what do people say? No worries, mate. Well, no worries, mate. She'll be right, mate. So with a no worries, mate attitude, how can you feel hopeless? If everything is no worries. Yeah, so that's the problem, There is in the first canto, actually I brought my verse book along, didn't I? Yes. I want to read you this one powerful purport. The Prabhupada really makes a few strong points. This is 1.8.26. That's the chapter with Queen Kunti praying for calamities to come again and again. So there in the purport, Prabhupada says, actually the Lord's holy name has such powerful potency, but there is a quality to such utterance also. It depends on the quality of feeling. A helpless man can feelingly utter the holy name of the Lord, whereas a man who utters the same holy name in great material satisfaction cannot be so sincere. Wow, that's already a pretty strong statement, that a person who is situated in great material satisfaction cannot be so sincere. Why? Because material satisfaction means no worries, mate. How can you be helpless? If you're situated in great material satisfaction. And yet, aren't we all striving for material satisfaction? I think we have to admit that, yes, to a greater or lesser degree, we are striving for material satisfaction. But yeah, here we hear how dangerous material satisfaction is, because that complacency sets in, and that indifference and the comfortable situation and Yeah, just come in, Peru. Thank you for coming. I know him from Ukraine for many years. We were living in the same complex there in the old temple. I was upstairs, he was downstairs. Yes, so great material satisfaction. Dangerous, because then it's more difficult to feel helpless. So, and then Prabhupada continues, a materially puffed up person may utter the holy name of the Lord occasionally, but he is incapable of uttering the name in quality. Therefore, the four principles of material advancement, namely high parentage, good wealth, high education, and attractive beauty, are, so to speak, disqualifications for the progress on the path of spiritual advancement. Ooh, strong words, right? Yes. These four principles of material advancement also, we usually, to a greater or lesser degree, we strive for them, for higher education. And maybe we can even include also higher spiritual education, because that also can make us puffed up. That's the problem. As soon as we have some little opulence, then we get all proud about it. And then how can we call out in helplessness? Yes. Yeah, so that's the problem. This quality of helplessness is also a pretty important one to cultivate, actually. It's like the essence of Krishna consciousness, to helplessly call out for Krishna. Like Govinda Maharaj used to say that an ISKCON temple is a crying school where we learn how to cry out for Krishna. So here we also have a pretty nice crying school. So now we just have to learn to cry out for Krishna. Yeah, so that's really the bottom line, to feel helplessly dependent on Krishna and his devotees. Yes. When we open our Vaishnav songbook, almost every bhajan expresses that mood of helplessness, right? Kabe habe bolo, when will the day come? Or Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya. Gurudev, give to the servant just one drop of mercy. And then the last line, if you're not merciful unto me, I can only weep, and I will not be able to maintain my life any longer. So how much more helpless can we be than that? Yes. So yeah, that is a sign of advancement, that we feel helpless. And that's what we are meant to cultivate in chanting, like a child crying for his mother. So now, interestingly, a child crying for his mother does not have the problem of a wandering mind, right? It's actually a pretty profound analogy, this child crying for his mother, We all know it, we all say it, but yeah, are we really, pondering over this and more deeply understand it? No, we usually don't. So a child crying in helplessness for his mother does not say, oh, strange, every time I cry for my mother, I think of all these things with whom to play and what to play and where to play. And no, child does not have that problem, because there is no room for any other thought except, where is my mother? I need her right now. So, and that gives us the solution, actually, to the wandering mind. Yesterday, the topic came up and I said, let's park it for today. Can't remember who asked. What to do with the wandering mind? So solution is to involve the heart. Try to scratch together some sincere feeling of helplessness. That's a solution. Very often we hear this question, or what to do when the mind wanders. And the standard answer is always pull it back and here, pull it back and here. Okay, it's not wrong, it's a good start, but it's not everything. Because we have to bring the holy name to the level of the heart. Just pulling it back and here, that then we keep the whole chanting on the level of the mind. Yeah. So Satchidananda Swami likes to say, don't end up in a boxing match with the mind. Because that's what happens if we leave it at pull it back in here, right? Because then for some mantras, okay, we pull it back in here, then the mind runs off again, pull it back in here. And here we have the boxing match. But that will not get us anywhere much. It is a matter of involving the heart. Prabhupada says it in the purport very clearly. There's a quality of feeling, a quality of utterance, and a helpless person can feelingly utter the holy name, whereas a person in great material satisfaction cannot be so sincere. So it's a quality of feeling. That's the whole point, So that's why Bhaktisiddhanta says, yes, we have to bring the chanting of the holy name to the level of the heart. Make it heart deep, not just lip deep, but heart deep. Yeah, that's the point. Because also we know, Krishna is not so much interested in the external offering, but he wants the love and devotion. And also Rupa Goswami tells us, loyam, greed for Krishna, that's the practically only qualification we need to have to get pure bhakti. We have to have that greed. So in exactly that greed, we are meant to express when we chant. Yes. That we long for Krishna, we cry out to Krishna and like that, helplessly. I want you, I need you. Yes. Yeah, so, but this is not so easy also because, we have been in forgetfulness of Krishna for so many lifetimes and so on. So the very first step, or let us remember, let me ask, why are we chanting the holy name? Why? Yes, to re-establish this lost and forgotten relationship. That's actually the only reason. Just the other day I came across again a statement, but unfortunately I didn't write it down. And I can't even remember from whom it was. But it was very clear that we don't, I mean, if we want to come to the level of pure chanting, there should be no other motivation, no other reason why we chant. Because sometimes when we ask people, oh, why do we chant? Oh, to have peace of mind. That's not pure chanting. We are not interested in peace of mind and this and that and so many things. No, we should be interested in re-establishing this lost and forgotten relationship. If we want bhakti, right? Yes. If we want bhakti, that should be our only interest, nothing else. Not to be, peaceful and, see some blue little boy there or whatever, or whatever people say, to be more focused and this and that. No, this is all material benefits, So then we take the chanting like a ritualistic thing, like some karma kanda thing. We want some material benefit in return, some good health and this and that. No, sorry, that's not why we chant. Yeah. But yeah, we are also pretty fruitive, So we chant for something, and but no, the only purpose, if we want to get to the level of pure chanting, should be just to reconnect, no matter whether we are happy or not, or whether we feel peaceful or not. So that's why Mahaprabhu says, even if you handle me roughly, by not being present before me, and so still, we chant. Yes. So now the understanding that the purpose of chanting is the relationship. So whenever we want to develop a relationship with somebody, what's the very first step? What's the very first step? Even in material, in life, and not material life, but to know something about this person, that's already almost the second step. But what's the very first step? Huh? Well, yeah, all right. It's not so bad. Huh? Of building a relationship. What's the very first step if you want to cultivate any relationship with a husband, with a wife, with a brahmachari in the ashram, with a brahmacharini? What's the very first step? Huh? Yeah, even before that. Huh? Even before that, before you connect, you have to be mindful that the person is there, right? You have to be conscious about the fact that there is a person there in your life, right? Yes, yes. Even in married life, husband, wife, or ashram or something, you can really live past each other, just, oh yeah, Haribol, how are you? Boom, gone, So, yeah, so the first step is that we are mindful of the person's presence in our life. Yes, yes. So, and that is also in our relationship with Krishna, that we have to be mindful that he is there. And very often we already fail there, Yes. One can actually completely miss the target. One can cut Krishna completely out of the picture in one's so-called Krishna consciousness. Just being busy with so many services and ambitions and projects and running. So, and then even when we chant, there's all these plan making sessions going on, as we discussed yesterday. But hey, what are we doing for our relationship with Krishna? We are not mindfully turning to him when we chant and appeal to him. So we can almost completely cut Krishna out of the picture, because when we, let's say we are on book distribution or we cook or whatever, we actually have to concentrate on the job. There's not so much room there of remembering Krishna. No, we have to focus and concentrate and be sharp and so maybe on book distribution in between talking to people, you can Hare Krishna, you can, pray to Krishna or something. But as a rule, you have to be focused, But the time when we actually build the relationship is when we chant. Yes, that's the time when we actually connect. So, but we only do that if we really deep from the heart mindfully turn to Krishna and feelingly appeal to him, call out to him, Yes. So, and this is exactly what I would like to try with you now. If you are ready. I would like to chant one round with you. No problem if you didn't bring your bead back, not an issue. You can either count on your fingers or you can just not count and just chant. So I would like to do this exercise that we chant one round, everybody in their own speed, because everybody's got their own speed and rhythm. You know, I'm not so fond of this united chanting and unison. I find this a little, not so comfortable because everybody's got their own speed. I have to warn you, I'm a pretty slow chanter. I need 10 minutes for one round. So you may finish before I finish, but I hope you allow me also to finish my round. So, and we want to exactly do that. We want to really deep from the heart, mindfully turn to Krishna in the mood of Krishna. I know you are there. Please accept me. Longing for the relationship, filling our chanting with longing. Because who do we think we are that Krishna so easily has to accept us? You know? So there has to be that greed there, that longing. There has to be some intensity of desire there, helplessly calling out to him, longing for him, needing the relationship. Yes. So let us try that. And it can be helpful if we close our eyes, because the sense of seeing, is the most distractive sense. Oh, look at this, look at that. The eyes are the most distracting sense perception. So if we close our eyes, we can concentrate more on hearing. Prabhupada was saying, hear yourself chant sincerely. So that's what we can try to do also. We can try and hear ourselves chant sincerely, meaning mindfully turning to Krishna and calling out to him, feelingly appealing to him, addressing him feelingly. All right? So we'll try that for one round. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Krishna Shri Krishna, Hare Rama, 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 Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Shri Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Shri Krishna, Hare Rama, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Shri 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Shri Krishna, Rama, Shri Krishna, Hare Rama, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Hare Rama, Shri Krishna, Hare Rama, Shri Krishna, Hare Rama, Shri Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Okay, Guru Premanandi. So, how did you go? Was it easy? Easy? Really? What are you doing then in the material world if it's so easy? Well, most people say, no, it's not easy at all. You know, for a few mantras, maybe we will get it together to turn to Krishna mindfully, and then, boo, the one mind wanders again. Most people share that, you know. Yeah, because it's not so easy at all, because we're in such a habit of forgetfulness of Krishna, of turning our back to him. For lifetimes we've been living like that. So just putting on tilak and neck beads and, you know, that doesn't mean anything actually. We can still maintain this mood of ignoring Krishna actually. Yeah, very easily. Yeah. So it's not so easy at all. And even sitting here in the temple room in front of the deities, Srila Prabhupada, in our little holy name seminar here, even here it is not so easy. What to speak of, you know, walking around with a clicker and doing this and that, and yes, you know, or the inattentive versions we collected yesterday, Yes. Yeah, it's not so easy at all, I often like to give this example. Sometimes we have a brahmachari who gets married after 25 years of brahmachari life. So, and he just continues his brahmachari mood. He gets married in name only. And yeah, he just continues ignoring women, including his wife. And because he's so programmed like this, And then the wife, hey, hello, I am here. Maybe we can have a bit of a relationship somehow. Maybe you can be mindful of my presence here in your life. It can be very frustrating. And it can sometimes take quite some time for a man to make that shift, So what to speak of having ignored Krishna for so many lifetimes, It actually requires a whole paradigm shift to really put an end to this ignoring and forgetfulness and really mindfully turn to Krishna. So it's a whole deep thing in the heart, right? Whole deep thing in the heart. Not so easy at all. And we know from practical life, no relationship develops automatically, right? Just by time going by. No, we have to make some effort. Yes. And the first step is always to be mindful of the person's presence. Without that, there's no chance for any relationship to develop, right? So now, interestingly, Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Harinam Chintamani, he makes this point that when we chant the holy name without really turning to Krishna, he calls that a shadow or reflection of the holy name. It's not the real thing. Yes, it's just a shadow. So let's imagine at prasadam time, somebody offers us the reflection of a plate of a feast. So obviously this would not be very satisfying. So in the same way, this chanting, which is just a reflection, not the real thing, definitely does not give any satisfaction to the soul. It actually cannot even be called chanting the holy name. Yes. So, and His Holiness Satyananda Swami, together with Burijan Prabhu, they came up with this analogy. They came up with this analogy to call this chanting empty medicine capsule. Yes. So capsule, not tablet, capsule. Often there with gelatin, but we can also get the vegan capsules. So you can open the capsules and usually there's some medicine inside. But well, can also be empty. And from outside, looks like the real thing, but no effect. Empty capsule. And that's exactly what this chanting is like. When we just, blabber something down, simply saying the alphabet. Bhaktivinoda Thakur also says, it's just the alphabet. It's not the holy name. So yeah, it's empty capsule, for sure. No effect. On the absolute platform of re-establishing that connection, that relationship with Krishna, zero effect. Zero. Yes. Yeah, so this exercise in itself and also this fact is often a real turning point for devotees, a real eye-opener, that they realize, oh my God, I've been taking empty capsules for the last 10, 20, 30 years or whatever it may be. Yes, yes, because we don't hear much about these things, I mean, looking at my spiritual practice, first 20 years, guaranteed empty capsule. I never even heard anything about it. People only look at the numbers. How many rounds are you chanting? But nobody ever asks, so what kind of capsules are you taking? Empty ones, full ones? Nobody asks about that. Nobody looks much at the quality, Yes. Yes, so these empty capsules, even if we find it here not so easy, it makes it very clear that all this inattentive versions we discussed yesterday, even on public transport and this and that and so many things, empty capsule guaranteed. Yes, no effect. Yeah, so sometimes people, I remember once I did a holy name retreat in India outside Bangalore. We rented a whole place and people came from different temples from Bangalore, and it was just over a weekend. And when we were discussing this point, there were some senior devotees there. They almost got a little angry. They said, why am I only hearing this now after 30 years? Couldn't anybody have told me this a little earlier? They felt cheated almost. And I had to really pacify them and say, okay, well, better late than never. And, we've spent so many lifetimes doing all kinds of nonsense. So better late than never. Yeah, but they were, almost a little upset that only now, after so many years of practice, they heard these things, Yes. Yeah, so that's one reason why I really like to conduct these holy name retreats, just to try and save people's time, that they hear about it a little earlier. So, but yeah, this understanding and this japa exercise we just made can really transform our chanting immensely from this mechanical routine thing of just getting the rounds out of the way by hook or by crook, doing so many other things, maximizing time and how we talked yesterday. So it can transform the chanting from that to actually my time with Krishna. That's actually what it is. As we said yesterday, Krishna and the holy name non-different. So Krishna extends himself into the material world. So when we chant, we can get the same benefit as meeting Krishna face to face. But of course, only if we mindfully turn to him when we chant and feeling the appeal to him and call out to him and address him and. So it's a whole thing, not so easy. Yeah, so that's like the first kind of, secret to chanting, to practice that and not leave it at the empty capsule. And it's very simple and logical that if we actually spend every day trying, even if we are not successful chanting all 16 rounds like that, but just endeavoring, trying to turn to Krishna, appeal to him, call out to him, something will happen in this relationship, right? Yes, of course. That relationship will become more tangible reality in our life. Something will happen, right? But if we don't do that, then maybe nothing will happen, absolutely nothing. Right? Yes, because we are not even mindful of Krishna's presence in our life. Just give me a little bit more time. Is that all right? I'd like to make a few more points and then we open up for questions. Yeah, I remember once one Mataji was just about to leave her body, and devotees asked her, "So, you want to go back to Krishna?" And she said, "No." And everybody was shocked. "What? You don't want to go back to Krishna?" And she said, "Actually, I have no relationship with Krishna." So that's what can happen when we take empty capsules. We may be facing death and realize, gee, no relationship. And actually, just the fact how fearful we are of death directly shows that our relationship with Krishna is almost not established. Otherwise, we would not be so fearful of death. Otherwise, we would say, "Jai, finally I get the chance to get on the plane and go to him. Krishna has been waiting for so many lifetimes. Why delaying? Why trying to be here by hook or by crook?" You know? It directly reflects, at that point that our relationship with Krishna is almost not established at all. And it's not surprising, especially if we've been taking empty capsules, and so many other previous lifetimes we've been just completely ignoring Krishna. So how can the relationship develop? Only through the chanting, and only if we turn to Krishna when we chant, and feelingly address him and call out to him. And so then something can happen in the relationship. So unless we do that, there will not be much improvement there, But even if we just endeavor, even if we are not so fully successful, but just the endeavor, just the understanding, this is what I'm meant to do, So, and obviously the first step is we have to stop all these forms of inattentiveness on the level of the body. Otherwise, there's no question of any, deeper thing. There's no question of really mindfully turning out and all that, It will just be some blabbering, and that's all, some sound, Yeah, so this is quite eye-opening. Now, a quick little thing I do want to explain also, that actually the same things are there in Kirtan also, In Kirtan, there's also inattentiveness on the level of the body, that people talk to their neighbor, they get the mobile out, and so many things. Or the inattentiveness on the mind, level of the mind, making plans or thinking, "God, when is this finishing? I'm tired of the same tune," and whatever we may be thinking, what else we have to do, and then also inattentiveness on the level of the heart. Kirtan is all about connecting. It's all about connecting. It's not just some nice music. If we don't connect, then Kirtan is nothing more than a nice music, So that's what makes a Kirtan a good Kirtan, that the Kirtan leader connects. Yeah. That's what makes a Kirtan a powerful and uplifting and transcendental affair, when the Kirtan leader connects. Because consciousness, as we mentioned maybe before, travels on sound vibration. So if the person leading the Kirtan really feelingly calls out to Krishna and longs for the relationship with devotion, and so then that consciousness travels on the sound coming out of his mouth. And that affects everybody's hearts in the audience and uplifts everybody. Yeah, so that's what Kirtan is all about. So the same principles are there also, And I once had very distinctly this experience. This was when His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj had his first major health crisis, when he was in coma. When was that? 2004 or 5 or something. something around that time. So I was at that time in Bangladesh, and Bangladesh, most of the devotees are his disciples. So when this came out, whole ISKCON Bangladesh was mortified. People were devastated. So we immediately started these 24-hour kirtans in all the temples. And these kirtans were some of the best kirtans I've ever heard, because people were really crying out in hopelessness. Yes. And that was really a major realization for me, that I thought, wow, this is actually how kirtan should be chanted, longing, crying out, and desperation. And so some of the kirtan leaders, they were literally crying while they were leading, And when your guru is in coma, you don't feel like showing off in kirtan, So yeah, these kirtans, they were really intense and powerful. And then it was interesting for me to observe that as Maharaj's health was becoming more stable, people were relaxing, and thinking, oh, okay, looks like it's not so bad. Maharaj will be with us for a little longer. And then kirtan went back to the usual thing, and the showing off mood entered again, Yeah, so I could really observe it, how it shifted, Yes. But in any case, so kirtan also, this same element is there, So now, what's more important, japa or kirtan? Yes. So what's the difference? That's true. Maybe we should. But yeah. So in japa, this is the individual internal work, that we build all individually, this connection. So most devotees find japa more austere, it's more hard work. You actually have to sit there and endeavor, right? Whereas kirtan is more the spreading and involving others and giving benefits to all the living entities, including the trees and animals and everybody else there. Yes, so japa actually sets the foundation to kirtan, because unless we have a little bit established that connection in japa, most likely we will not be able to really connect in kirtan, because kirtan, so many more distractions are there. There's the tune, there's the rhythm, there's the instruments, there's the audience, all these external distractions which easily get us on external consciousness, that we start thinking, oh, is anybody getting bored here? Maybe I have to change the tune and this and that. So yeah, we have to actually establish the connection in japa. And then we have more chance that in kirtan, we can actually also really focus and call out and connect and feelingly address Krishna and appeal to him and. So now what's the foundation to japa in regards to, let's say, in regards to our sadhana? Yes, exactly. Hearing and reading Prabhupada's books. Yeah, exactly. So that's how they connect. The hearing Prabhupada's books, especially Bhagavatam, sets the foundation to japa. Japa sets the foundation to kirtan. Because it is also described in Harinam Chintamani that the sambandha gyan, this knowledge of who am I, who is Krishna, what's this whole material world all about, this actually has to hit the heart level. not just theoretically, yes, I know I'm Krishna's servant and all that, but no, it has to actually be at least a little bit realized. And when this knowledge sinks into the heart, then it becomes more natural to turn to Krishna, you know, because it's realized knowledge. Yes, I have an eternal loving relationship with the Lord, and I have been such a rascal. I ignored this relationship with so many for so many lifetimes. Then there should be some regret, some lamentation. Oh, I've been such a rascal. He's never given up on me, but I just ignored him. So let me put an end to this. You know, then it becomes more natural to actually turn to Krishna. Whereas that if that knowledge is not deeply understood and accepted in the heart, you know, then we can say, yeah, I know I'm Krishna's servant, and we make so many arrangements to enjoy and control. And yeah, I have an eternal relationship. But yeah, you know, so many other relationships are more important to us and all that. So then we have not realized that knowledge. And then it will be, yeah, almost artificial. It may feel artificial for us to turn to Krishna and feelingly appeal to him, you know. So yeah, that's why the Sambandha Gyan has to hit the heart. So that's why we have to hear it again and again and again, you know. So that's why Prabhupada established morning, evening program. As soon as we stop hearing or reading for a while, then the consciousness gets covered over, and we start thinking the real problem of life is, you know, how to pay off our mortgage and how to renovate the house and whatever, you know. So, but when we hear again and again very regularly, then hopefully we will be more established in that eternal reality of my relationship with Krishna. That's the real goal of life, and so on, you know. And I mean, at the moment of death, that's what we are tested in. Which relationship is the most important? That's why Krishna says, so if you remember me alone, then you will reach my abode of this, there is no doubt. So it has to be Krishna alone, not Krishna and your wife, husband, grandchild, dog, cat, whatever, but Krishna alone. So to remember Krishna alone at the moment of death, not so easy, not so easy. It requires some preparation. So, and the chanting is the main form of preparation to re-establish this relationship. And then maybe we have some hope to remember Krishna alone. Yeah. Yeah, so Kirtan, if we don't call out to Krishna feelingly, again, empty capsule. Simply nice music. Nothing more than that. You know? Yes. So we don't want to give out empty capsules. You know? There is also a poisonous capsule, according to Satchidananda Swami. We'll leave that for tomorrow. The poisonous capsule. Okay, so let me see if we have any questions or comments. Prabhu, you wanted to say something. Sorry to let you wait. Really? Oh.
Oh.
I let you wait for too long. On the absolute platform of building our relationship. Yeah. Well, as I'm saying, zero effect on that absolute platform of building our relationship with Krishna. You know? But yeah, I mean, there's, how is it? Nama Parat gives which benefit? Oh yeah, mature here. I've got it on my sheet. Nama Parat, you get mature opulence, relief of sinful reactions, you know, or reactions to sinful activities. So Nama Bas, liberation. And then Shudanam, going back to Godhead, bhakti, relationship with Krishna. So on that absolute platform of my relationship with Krishna, zero effect. Especially after we know a little bit, you know. So initially there may be some effect. Like, I don't know if you have this margarine here in the UK, the Rama. You have that margarine Rama? In Germany, they have it Rama. And I remember from my childhood, we had that Rama in our house. And I was thinking, Rama, Rama. Interesting name, Rama. You know? So yeah, whole Germany is chanting Rama there when they get the margarine, you know. But that doesn't build your relationship with Krishna. No, that's just a tiny little, you know, spiritual benefit there until we finally meet a devotee, we meet Guru, we get the Sambandha Gyan, you know, and then the actual building of the relationship starts. So we just collect these little plus points there by seeing a Harinam party and jokingly chanting Hare Krishna and all that. So they're just the little plus points until actually, you know, we receive the seed of bhakti in the heart. We don't receive that just by jokingly chanting Hare Krishna and making fun out of the Harinam party or something. But yeah, at least he chants. So it's a tiny little step, you know. And I mean, even devotees sometimes share this on their journey, how they came to Krishna consciousness, you know, that they first meet a devotee here and there and this and that. And then finally they're ready to take it up, you know, right? Yes. On the absolute platform of my eternal relationship with Krishna. On that absolute platform, it doesn't have anything. Huh? Yeah, but we have started somewhere already. So for us here, I'm assuming that we were striving for pure bhakti. So if we continue taking empty capsules, we can chant for many, many lifetimes. And nothing will happen in our relationship with Krishna. So, all right, we'll continue next life again and taking birth in a devotee family or something. And so, but to really build that relationship with Krishna. I mean, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur goes even so far, he says, chanting without longing to serve, that will be one of the topics tomorrow, is useless. He says that. And in the book Amritavani. So he doesn't say it's not so effective or something, but no, it's useless. On that absolute platform of bhakti. Yeah.
Wonder what you said, that there's 3 levels of auspiciousness. So Mahapunya is that you get a human birth in your next life. You maybe touch a book or buy a book, but you don't apply it. Then Swasti Aina is an auspicious journey. That's when you start applying it. So you may be a devotee and you've been chanting for years, but you won't achieve the Shubham, which is the final stage of auspiciousness, which is that you'll go back to Goloka. So 3 stages of auspiciousness. So the first is just you secure a human birth, but that doesn't mean much. Then Swasti Aina, that's great, you've started, but still, it's only when Shubham, then you can.
Okay, thank you. Yes. Yeah, I mean, there is often a little confusion over these things because people often think, well, the holy name is pure, you know, any chanting is pure, and but no, holy name is pure, but we cover it with a level of layer of dirt, you know. Yes. any other points? Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, thank you for a wonderful class. I'm just wondering, in this meditation, when I sit and trying to reestablish my relationship with Krishna, where is spiritual master? Where is Srila Prabhupada?
Come back tomorrow. Tomorrow. I mean, you've attended Holy Name retreats in Kharkov, no? We had so many of them. You were not there.
I was the only person who stayed in the temple and stayed there all the years.
Okay. Yes. So, yeah, no, tomorrow we will do an exercise in connection with Guru or Prabhupada. So we'll park that for tomorrow. Yes.
How we can have, we can become proud of having some knowledge which can bring in complacency. So does that then become an impediment that you acquire all this knowledge, you know, all these slokas and all that, but then that prestige, that false prestige, then actually impedes your progress?
Exactly. That's what Prabhupada says. He says, therefore, the four principles of material advancement, namely high birth, knowledge, wealth, beauty, are, so to speak, disqualifications, he says. But he makes it a little milder. He says, so to speak. He doesn't say it absolute, you know, because these things can be used in Krishna service. But I once heard a nice thing that if our opulences are not digested with humility, then they become toxic. Also a nice thing to remember, like that we can see humility as the digestive medicine. Like any undigested food, even if it's very nutritious, becomes toxic. You develop toxins, get sick. So any opulence which is not digested with humility becomes toxic. Even though it's such a valuable opulence, which could be used so nicely, but if it is not digested with humility, can destroy your whole spiritual life, you know. Yeah, and we often see it, you know, and that's the unfortunate thing. And in one Prabhupada says that we should not get puffed up about borrowed plumes. He compares the opulences to a plume, to a little feather that people put in their hat or something when they go hiking in the fields there. You know, so no need to get puffed up by borrowed plumes, because Krishna is the source of all opulences and talents. So, you know, and he gives it and he can take it away at any time. So what's the need to get puffed up about it? We're only borrowing some plumes here, so we have something to, you know, to offer Krishna back. So no need to get puffed up about it. And often enough, Krishna takes it away, you know, overnight. Quite often happens, you know. Yes.
Matita Savadagani says, if you act out of false ego, not hearing me, you will be lost. So, because generally when you think of that, you're thinking that would mean not hearing his instructions in the Bhagavad Gita, but it also would imply that not hearing him in the holy name also would mean you'd be lost because of the false ego.
Could be also seen like that, because ultimately it's the false ego that blocks us from calling out in helplessness, you know, and therefore we will be lost. another birth. Yes. Anything else? If there's nothing else, I would like to do a little concluding exercise with you, that you quickly turn to your neighbor and share what the session gave you. What are you taking out of here? Hopefully something. Realization of the afternoon. Just quickly turn to a neighbor and just quickly share. You don't have to give each other a whole big lecture or something, but just in essence, you know? Okay, Guru Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol. So tomorrow morning we continue with the false ego session. It connects very nicely tomorrow with the session we do with the evening holy name session. Also for tomorrow evening, please again bring your bead bag and also pen and paper. Or you can write on your phone, but I want to do a little exercise where you have to write something. Okay? Okay, thank you so much for your kind attention and participation. Srila Prabhupada ki, Samaveda Bhaktivinoda ki, Shri Harinam Prabhu ki, Gaur Premanandi.
Hare Grace Devaki Devi Dasi ki jai.